So on the last turn, we did till here. Save for the son that she did later here. A freckled well, hag born, not honored with human shape. This is the description of Caliban. That is the son of Sycorax as given by Prospero. Right? He's a hag born, and because he's a hag born, he's a witch born child, so he was not gifted with normal human form, and his body is freckled, spotted like that of a dog, so not honored with human shape, and so that is why he was not honored with human shape. Ariel, yes, Caliban her son. So Ariel says that yes, Caliban is the name of the child of Sycorax. Prospero, dull thing I say so. He, that Caliban, whom not I keep in service. So, whom now I keep in service. So, Prospero says that yes, he's a dull thing, he's a stupid creature with no brains at all. I say so. I must say that he is a stupid creature. He, that Caliban, whom now I keep in service. Whom now I keep in service means who is now working as my slave, who is my slave at the present moment, who is my servant at the present moment. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. So he proceeds with the Ariel's story, and he says that you know yourself, right? How much suffering you were undergoing when you were entrapped inside that pine tree, in that cloven pine tree, when you were there, when you were entrapped there, when you were kept there by Sycorax, then what pain, what suffering, what agony you were undergoing. So nobody else except you knows best about it. So what torment I did find thee in. And when I came to the island, then I found you suffering. I found you in that pain. Thy groans did make wolves howl and penetrate the breast of ever hungry bears. So your cries, I showed you the picture, how Ariel was entrapped in the pine tree. So your groans, your cries, you were in so much pain that you were regularly crying. He has even compared Millwheel's strike as quickly as the mill wheel strikes, the water strikes the mill wheel. So your cries were very regular, means you were continuously crying, right? So the torment I did find thee in, thy groans did make the wolves howl. Means your groans, your cries were so pathetic that even the wolves, they started howling. They could also understand your painful situation and penetrate the breast of ever hungry bears. And even the bears, they could sense your pain. Even the bears, they pitied you. They sympathized with you on hearing your cries and groans. To lay upon the damned, it was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. Now, your position was so bad, your situation was so bad that this kind of a torment could only be given to someone who is damned forever, is cursed forever, right? But Sycorax inflicted so much pain, so much suffering upon you, which is only fit for someone who has been damned forever, right? Who are destined to be in hell forever. So only in a place like hell, somebody can undergo this kind of suffering, which you were made to undergo by Sycorax. Which Sycorax could not again undo. Now what happens? Sycorax only knew how to confine him into that pine tree. She didn't know how to undo it. Which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art. So when Prospero came to this island, he freed Ariel from that tree. Because Sycorax didn't know how to release Ariel from that pine tree. right? It was mine art when I arrived and heard thee. So when Prospero came to this island, he heard the cries of Ariel. He heard Ariel's cry, right? Crying, groaning inside that pine tree. So he released Ariel from there. That made gape. Gape means open, to open wide. So I made that tree open wide, the pine, and let thee out, and brought you out of that pine tree. Now, Farzan, is it clear? Come to know that Prospero is a very powerful magician, more powerful than Sycorax was, right? Because Sycorax only knew how to confine Ariel. She was not able to release Ariel from that pine tree. So it was Prospero who did it, right? And this is one of the reasons why Ariel is indebted to Prospero. I hope this is clear. So we can move further. I thank thee, Master. So Ariel says, for that I am very grateful to you, Master, right? That you released me from such a torturous situation. So I am grateful to you. If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his naughty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters. So now Prospero says that if you know what I can do to you. So if you again complain, if you again try to grumble about your freedom, if you again try to uh, show your unwillingness to do the jobs which I assign you, if you again talk to me about your liberty, then remember it that I'll rend an oak. I'll rend an oak means I'll open an oak tree and peg thee in his naughty entrails. Entrails means the inside of the oak tree. And I will fix you inside that old oak tree. I'll split open an oak tree, keep you inside that oak tree till thou hast howled away 12 winters. Till you go on howling and crying and groaning inside that tree for 12 winters. 12 winters means 12 years. Because 12 winters will take place in 12 years, right? So again, you will be confined in an oak tree for next 12 years. So you better remember and behave properly and quietly obey my instructions without any complaint and grumbling. So what does Ariel say? Pardon, master, I'll be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently. So now Ariel asks for forgiveness. Ariel says, pardon, master. Please, I ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me, master. I will be correspondent to command. I'll be correspondent means I'll be obedient to your command. Means now whatever you are going to instruct me, I will obey without complaint and do my spiriting gently. And what will I do? I will play the role of a role of a spirit because I am a spirit. So I will play the role of a spirit gently. Gently means in a very subdued manner, in a very quiet manner. I will not try to revolt or raise my voice against you, master, but please forgive me this time. Prospero, do so, and after 12 days, I will discharge you. So Prospero says that, please, you better do so, right? You better obey all my instructions quietly. And as a result of it, what will I do? After 2 days, I will discharge thee. I will discharge thee means I will release you from my service. Right? After 2 days, you will become a free spirit. Ariel. That's why no. Now this makes Ariel very happy. Right? When Prospero tells Ariel that now I'm going to, if you perform your job properly without grumbling, in the next 2 days, you'll be free from my service. So this makes Ariel very happy. And he says, that's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do? So now Ariel is very happy and excited. And he says, now you are talking like my noble master. Now you are talking like my good, great master. So now tell me what is to be done. Right? Tell me. Like if you give some kind of temptation to children also, then they become very much interested in the job. which you assign them. So Ariel is also, because now Ariel has got the temptation that he will be released after 2 days. He'll be released from the service of Prospero after 2 days. So this makes Ariel very happy. And so in excitement, he asks, what shall I do? Tell me. Tell me, what do you want me to do? Quickly. I am ready to obey all your orders. Right? So now Prospero gives his instructions and he says, go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight, but thine and mine. So what is a nymph? What is a nymph? Yes, Shweta.
Sea maiden.
Yes, nymph is a sea spirit or a sea maiden, a spirit normally in the form of a woman who lives in sea and hills and all these places. See, I got the picture of a nymph, right? They're spirits in the form of woman and they live in sea and mountains or hills, all these places, the springs. So those are known as nymphs. Okay, so this is the next instruction given by Prospero to Ariel. So make thyself a nymph. So now what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to make yourself into a nymph, right? And be subject to no sight than thine and mine. And only you will be visible only to two people. That is, you will be able to see yourself and I'll be able to see you. Means except you and me. Nobody else should be able to see you. Invisible to every eyeball else. Means you'll be invisible to the rest of the creatures and the rest of the people. Go, take this shape. So I instruct you, go and transform yourself into a nymph. And hither come in it, go hence with diligence. So he says that after you have done it, you're supposed to come back to me as soon as possible. Go change yourself into a nymph, invisible to the rest of the people except you and me, and then come back to me. Hence with diligence. Diligence means with skill. Do this with a lot of skill and efficiency. Exit Ariel. So Ariel, on listening to Prospero's instructions, leaves. Then after Ariel has left, you remember Prospero made Miranda fall asleep because Ariel was there waiting to talk to him, waiting to tell him about waiting to tell him about the details of the shipwreck. So now when Ariel has left, awake, dear heart, awake. Thou hast slept well, awake. So then Prospero is talking to Miranda. Now, because Ariel has left, Ariel is nowhere to be seen. So now Prospero asks Miranda to get up. Get up, wake up. You have slept a lot. Please get up. So Miranda gets up and she says, the strangeness of your story puts heaviness in me. Means the strangeness of your story. Your story was so strange, so difficult to believe that some drowsiness kept over me. Right? So this drowsiness which crept over me, I was entrapped by that drowsiness and I slept. Right? This sleep took control over me. Prospero, shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer. So Prospero says, now shake it off. Now share off your sleep, get up, be alert. And now we have to go to meet Caliban, who is my slave, who never yields us kind answer and who never answers us in a polite manner, in a decent manner, who is always rude to us. Right? Okay. So Miranda says, now Prospero and Miranda, they decide to go to Caliban. Right? So Miranda says, 'Tis a villain, sir. I do not love to look on. So Miranda says he's a villain. He is a rogue. He is a disgusting creature. I don't even want to look at him. He's so hateful that I don't even like looking at him. Prospero. But as it is, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serve in offices that profit us. So Prospero says, yes, I know that he's not good to look at. He doesn't have a very pleasant appearance. He looks ugly, but whatever it is, we cannot miss him. But again, he's important to us. We cannot afford to miss Caliban. Why? Because he does make our fire. He makes our fire. He makes fire for us. Fetch in our wood. He goes to the forest, jungles, and fetches wood for making fire, and serves in offices that profit us. And serves in offices means and performs other duties which profit us, which are useful to us, right? So these are the jobs which were performed by Caliban, right? So Prospero says that he makes fire for us, he fetches wood from the forest, and then he is useful in other different manners. He performs different duties for us, which are for our benefit, which are for our advantage. What ho, slave Caliban, thou earth, thou speak. So then they go to the place where Caliban lived, and so Prospero calls out, what ho, Caliban? What are you doing? Where are you, Caliban? Thou earth means thou clod of earth, thou piece of earth. Thou speak. Why don't you speak? Speak out. Where are you? Caliban. Within. Now the sound is heard from within. There's wood enough within. So Caliban says, why are you calling me? I have stored enough wood for you. Why are you calling me? Now what do you want me to do? There is enough wood in your cave. So don't disturb me. Prospero, come forth, I say. There's other business for thee. So Prospero says, come out. I say, it's my instruction. I'm ordering you to come out. There's other business. I know there is one wood enough in my cave. I don't need the wood at the present moment. So, but you come out. I have other jobs for you. You have to do some other work for me. Come, thou tortoise. When? So, Prospero says, come out, you tortoise. Why are you not coming? When will you come out? When means when will you come out? When do you plan to come out? Re-entered Ariel like a water nymph. And in the meantime, when Prospero was calling out Caliban, Ariel re-enters, now transformed as a water nymph, disguised as a water nymph. Fine apparition, my quaint Ariel, hark in thy ear. So when Prospero looks at Ariel, he says that fine apparition means you look really nice. You look like a lovely spirit. My Ariel, my quaint Ariel means my charming, my skillful Ariel. You really look like a wonderful spirit. Apparition means a spirit. Hark in the ears. Hark means listen. So listen in your ears. I have to tell you something. My further instructions I'm going to whisper in your ears. So come near me and listen. Ariel, my lord, it shall be done. So Prospero whispers something in Ariel's ears, and then Ariel says that, yes, my lord, I will do as instructed. I will obey your instructions. It will be done. You need not worry. Prospero. Then Ariel leaves. Right? After Prospero whispers his instructions in the ears of Ariel, Ariel leaves the scene. And then Prospero again starts talking to Caliban. Thou poisonous slave, come forth. Come forth means come out. You poisonous creature, you come out. Poisonous means infectious creature. You come out of your rock. Caliban was confined to a rock. He was living in a rock. Caliban, as wicked do as ever, my mother. Now Caliban starts cursing. As we all know that Caliban was a monster. Right? You cannot expect the son of a witch, and that too a witch like Sycorax, to be a very gentle creature. So Caliban was a monster, and so obviously he will curse people. not speak good about anyone. So this is what Caliban is all about. As wicked due as ever. So these are the curses. Caliban, as wicked due as ever, my mother brushed with the raven's feather from unwholesome fen. Drop on you both, a southwest blow on ye, and blister you all over. So this is how Caliban curses Prospero and Miranda. He says, as wicked due as ever, my mother brushed. So because Sycorax, he's talking about Sycorax. He says, as wicked dewdrops as ever my mother has brushed, means as my mother has swept away from with raven's feather. Raven is a bird, black in color, very similar to a crow, right? So like raven's feathers, from using raven's feathers, as my mother used to see. Yes, Sycorax was a witch, so she performed witchcraft. So these people who perform this black magic and witchcraft, they use strange objects and strange things. So the most wicked dew, the most evil and poisonous drops that my mother ever brushed using raven's feather from unwholesome fen. Fen means marshes, marshy places. Unwholesome means from unhealthy, marshy places that have ever been picked up using a raven's feather by my mother. May those unhealthy, unhygienic drops fall on you both, right? And you people, your bodies may be infected from all the strange microbes. This is what he is trying to say, right? And may your body be infected with poisonous diseases because of those unwholesome fen, those drops from the unwholesome fen. A southwest blow on you. A southwest means southwest winds. Southwest winds, they are warm and very humid. They are moisture laden, warm winds. So he says that may the southwest winds blow on you people and blister you all over. And may your bodies be covered with blisters because of those southwesterly winds. So these were the curses showered upon Prospero and Miranda by Caliban. So Prospero says, now Prospero is annoyed. How can this rogue, this disgusting creature curse me? So Prospero says, for this, be sure tonight thou shalt have cramps. Now, because these curses which you have uttered just now for us, be sure, Caliban, that tonight you will have cramps. Means your body will suffer from pain. Prospero will use his magic and make Caliban suffer. So tonight be prepared to suffer those cramps. Side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Side stitches means, side stitches is the part of your body between the shoulder and your hip, right? So back portion. So that will be covered. Side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. So that portion of your body from your shoulder to your hip, that region will be covered with so much pain that thy breath up, means that will choke your breath. You will not even be able to breathe properly because of the pain that you will suffer tonight. You have cursed me. How dare you curse me? Now you see what will happen to you tonight. Urchins. What is an urchin? Urchin is this. Urchins are hedgehogs. They are prickly creatures, normally found in seas. And so you can see this is an urchin. This is an urchin. Is it visible? So then what does Prospero say? Urchins shall, for that vast of night, that they may work all exercisingly. So for the major portion of the night, what will urchins do? They will prick your body, right? I'll make urchins and hedgehogs prick your body throughout the night. They may work all exercise on thee, means they will exercise on you. Your body will be pricked by these hedgehogs. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb. Now see, because these urchins, they are prickly creatures, so when they will prick Caliban's body, the body of Caliban will become like honeycomb. It's like this. So with a lot of holes. So that is what Prospero wants to say, that your body will become like thick honeycombs. These thick honeycombs will cover your entire body. Each pinch more stinging than bees that made it. And each comb, each of these holes, small holes which will be created in your body by these hedgehogs, they will be more stinging, means they will be more painful than the bees that made them. Means the sting, they will be even more painful than the sting of a bee that made them. Right? When a bee bites, what happens? It stings a lot, pains a lot. So, but these honeycombs which will be made in your body by these urchins will be more painful than the bees. We'll stop here and then we'll start on the next one. Move ahead on the next.